All right, welcome back, everybody. Just a few days away till the draft, and Brandon Ayuk has been traded. What? I'm recording. He hasn't been traded? Okay, so he requested a trade. No. So they're shopping him. He's on the block and all. You know what? I don't even care. Let's go run the trailer. Yo! Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Too Much Best Ball, sponsored by the Fantasy Football Advice Network, brought to you by Underdog. Let's roll. All right, so we're going to start off with the guys that are moving up on the ADP boards, and that first guy is Curtis Samuel. Yes, I know that old guy that's been on, what now, his third contract, third team? No, he's not that old. 7 years in the league, he's only 27. That is prime for wide receivers. So, yes, I'm making the case of why he is still a value, even though he's moving up draft boards. So let's maybe grab him before he keeps going up. His previous ADP, he was going at pick 133. Now he's all the way at 102. He is at wide receiver 49. So you're telling me the masses are looking at this guy as a high-end wide receiver 5. That's wrong. I'm here to tell you why this guy is going to give us wide receiver 3 overall numbers with that wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 1 upside. First off, wide receiver 3, it doesn't sound sexy. That's not what you want in your lineup. But if you're starting 3 wide receivers like you are in best ball, or even if you're plugging them into another league and you need them as a flex, wide receiver 3 is still solid. These are guys that finished as wide receiver 3 last year. We had Tyler Lockett, Jalen Waddle, Chris Godwin, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice. I'd love to have any of those guys on my team. Because like I said, they may have finished at wide receiver 3, but they gave you those weeks at 2 and 1. And that's what we're looking for. These mid-round guys that'll give you that high upside while also giving you consistency and a low floor. So right off the bat, I want to talk touchdowns. This is a guy who averages about 4 touchdowns a season. He's maxed out all the way up at 6, but those are not sticky stats. These are stats that flow from season to season. He's also played for the Washington Commanders and the Carolina Panthers. He's never really truly been a part of an elite offense. Now, the Bills, they had their struggles, but it seems like they got it together with Joe Brady there at the end of the season. So Curtis Samuel plugging into what should be, we'll call it a wide receiver 2 slot once they inevitably make a trade for a guy or pick 1 or 2 receivers in the first 3 rounds. But Curtis is going to be a great piece, and he can move just about anywhere. You can put him all over the field, and he works great. He can find those soft spots in the zones because he's played with mobile quarterbacks in his career. So he knows how to find those soft spots. So playing with a guy like Josh Allen, it's going to complement him so well. So maybe we finally get that peak touchdown season from the guy at the age of 27. Again, still peak wide receiver age. He's not washed yet, folks. So last year he was in a trio of wide receivers with Terry McLaurin and also Jahan Dotson. Now Dotson hasn't turned out to the prospect we were kind of hoping him to see, but they were also hyper targeting the tight end. Logan Thomas was so good as a streamer last year in multiple weeks. So now he's plugging in, and he's one of the pass catchers with, yes, a tight end duo up there, but really nothing else. Khalil Shakir will be the only wide receiver fighting for targets as of now until these rookies. So then, too, if you're going to tell me these rookies may take 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 weeks to come along, Curtis Samuel should see a hefty target share. Over 50% of a target share is gone between Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. So there's so many possibilities here with Curtis Samuel. So again, he is moving up draft boards, but honestly, I think we need to grab him before he keeps moving up. Wide receiver 49 is an amazing price for this guy. All right, so the next guy we're going to talk about is, I know, it's not 2018, but we're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. He's trending on Twitter. He's moving up in ADP. He doesn't even have a team. But you know what? Right now you're buying him at running back 60 with all of these rookie running backs. So if you're taking all these risks on rookies and maybe you don't want to have 5 rookie running backs in your bench depth, maybe you can grab Ezekiel Elliott. This guy should be on a team after the draft, of course, but we should see him contribute to somewhere. There's a handful of teams that need some depth. Tell me the Cowboys wouldn't like to have Ezekiel Elliott there. Oh, they just got Royce Freeman, Brian. Your point. So from week 10 on last year, Zeke only had 2 weeks outside of the running back 26. They had a 33 and a 40 finish, while also giving you a running back 10 overall finish and a running back 1 overall finish. I know, we remember that game. We were all shocked by it. But Zeke, given the volume, going into the right spot, he can still be a contributing piece. And before the NFL draft, essentially all of these guys have equal value. He doesn't have a team just like these rookies. But you're going to sit there and tell me that Audric Estime, Bucky Irving, Ray Davis, Will Shipley, Dylan Laube, that are all going right around him, are guaranteed to see more work than him? I'm not. Their careers may be better than his going on from this point. But as far as this season, I think he has just as good a chance to be involved in giving you a floor play that any of these guys have. So if you want to mix it up a little bit, go with something safer. I understand the Zeke, absolutely, especially at running back 60. roll the dice. What you got to lose? So the last guy we're going to talk about today that has the ADP bump is going to be Marquise Hollywood Brown. Yeah, Rashee Rice is dealing with many issues, and as of now, before the NFL draft, we have no idea what's happening there. They are most likely adding a wide receiver somewhere in day 1 or day 2. So trying to figure out what this room is going to look like, I have no freaking clue. My issue is, as we just spoke about wide receiver 3s, Hollywood Brown is going as wide receiver 35. We don't have a whole lot of wiggle room. Now, in this elite offense, we can see he could finish overall wide receiver 1 multiple weeks this year. I'm not saying that's not out of the possibilities. We saw Sammy Watkins do it multiple times. And I very much put these two players in the same boat. They came out, had lots of talent, a lot of speed, but we never actually got to see them go over these injury humps and really produce like we wanted to from wide receiver 1 guys. So there's tons of ceiling with Marquise Brown. But I think those spikes weeks, I don't know if it's going to outplay the amount of bad weeks that he's going to give you. You know, is he even improving as a player? These last couple of years, yeah, they've been injury riddled, but he hasn't looked better. Only 26 years old, so just coming into the prime of his career. Really could see a way of stepping it up. But we've seen guys come in here like Juju in the past, and it just didn't quite work out. When he had a heavy target load, granted it was Josh Dobbs, but he had 4 of the first 6 games last year where he saw over 10 targets and didn't give you anything over wide receiver 17. In no way is Josh Dobbs and Patrick Mahomes equal, but it's still the amount of targets that he saw and what we weren't able to get out of him. He didn't even break 100 yards last year. He had Kyler in the back, for a handful of games, and it wasn't what we wanted to see. Now, going back to 2022, I know, 2 injuries ago, multiple years, but we did see, again, when Kyler was hyper-targeting him in those first 6 weeks, he only saw 1 game below 9 targets. So if he can get that kind of volume, we can see production from him. But when you've got the touchdown threat and Travis Kelce, the question marks about Rashee Rice, is he going to be there or is he not? How long is he going to be there? And then also this incoming rookie that we're almost guaranteed to see. Marquise Brown, I love the upside. But unless your roster is constructed where you have plenty of other wide receivers you can rely on, or maybe you went running back heavy and you're just having to slam wide receivers and trying to get all those boom bust guys. He's just a really tricky player to nail down right now. And for most builds that you would have in best ball, I just don't think that he would be a strategic add at his ADP. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap it up real quick. Make sure you do hang out with us on Friday night for our live draft. We're going to have lots of fun with that, bringing in Tyler again, of course. And don't forget to check all of our other amazing content at the Fantasy Football Advice Network. And if you are new to Underdog, you made it through this video, you think you want to join Best Ball, come on over to Underdog. Use the promo code FFAdvice and we will match your code up to $100. Let's join in the fun. We'll see you next time.